go figure this out.
Let me put up the infamous video. They call it acorn video. That is not. They call it acorn cop reaction.
All right, so we're gonna act like we never did this before. Here we go. Ready? Good. Yeah, save it. You play it too. Welcome to the Seniority Report, and my special guest today is Santiago Brito. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Kevin Lee. Appreciate it.
Man, I have got to talk about this whole acorn cop thing, man.
Yo,
it's been bugging me.
I got the video right here, man. Yeah, so this is it. So he put the suspect is handcuffed in the patrol car. Look, out of nowhere, he runs. What the fuck?
Okay, stop right there.
Hold on.
Stop
He
it
left
right
it
there.
a long time. There was no shots fired. He stopped. Look, like if you go back, that was like 30 seconds of him just running.
The prime example of somebody making something up in their mind.
Yo, it's true.
Yeah. And wait, before, I know we had this conversation earlier, but I get some people have never heard acorns falling on a car before.
Yo, that is crazy.
I will give you that, but in no fashion do they sound like gunshots.
But if you see the video now, like look how clear this video is. Watch, look. This is the beginning of the video. There is nothing going on. Look. He goes by the car. I don't hear anything.
No, because there's nothing.
How is shots fired? How is shots fired if he goes by the door?
He heard the acorns.
It was one?
Yeah, imagine the acorns falling. There are hundreds of acorns.
Hundreds of acorns.
they fall
He's
out of
trying to help
trees.
him right now.
It's like called nature.
Is that the hundreds of acorns fell? You think?
It fell out of the tree, but for him to start and run off.
What he rolled? Is that like a natural?
He did a tuck and roll. At this point, and this
shots fired.
I've said this before in other shows, like, being in law enforcement is a thing where when everybody does everything right, nobody cares what law enforcement does. But when something like this happens, unfortunately, you get the cops blaming on top of this, which this was horrendous. This was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
He manufactured all this in his head. So it was first of all, it was a I don't say it's a bullcrap call. Stolen girlfriend's car.
That's a domestic shit.
Yeah, and whatever happened, you handcuffed the guy.
You said what was he saying? Because you said that the situation looked like it was handled. Like if the guy's in the car, like cuffed, like
he was in the car, meaning you were there with a sergeant, your supervisor. That means you searched him and you handcuffed him and you put him in your car, and everything was so serene that your sergeant went in to get a statement or whatever she was doing.
Yeah, everything was calm.
All he was doing was standing by the car.
But he starts to roll right by the car. He starts to
because he heard acorns. He heard acorns.
I didn't hear them
because they don't sound like gunshots. That's why I didn't hear them.
Look! All that time, we haven't heard any noise.
Look how far away he is from the car right now.
And we haven't heard any noise.
No, because there's no noise.
The acorns don't make noise when they fall?
They don't sound like gunshots. Okay, watch this. He's emptying a magazine into his own car that he knows somebody's in.
He's sideways.
Then he falls down. And he's reloading. All right, so stop it right there for a minute. Stop it right there.
Yo,
so
he is blabbering.
He unloaded into his own car.
How many bullets was that?
I'm gonna go. If he opens his magazine, I'm gonna go with it was over 10, whatever kind of gun he's got.
Fuck.
And then he falls and assumes that he's shot.
He starts.
Now, you know how crazy your mind has to have manufactured something to think that? He yells it out on the radio. Now, this is the part that if you're not in law enforcement, him getting on the radio and saying that, he's got like 50 people coming to him.
Yeah.
Hauling ass because shit has hit the fan.
Officer, yeah.
And God knows who they could hurt trying to get to the scene. running like, balls to the wall kind of thing. Okay, so he shoots at a car that's his, knowing that he had put somebody in there in handcuffs. Now, unless
He had a gun somewhere.
you had an AR-15 for the reaction that he had.
No, acorn is like a 9mm. Acorn is like a 9mm.
Well, let's say he had several handguns that he left in his car, back of his seat loaded, and he gave the guy a handcuff key before he put him in and said, "Please shoot at us."
But if you hear like shots fired, you would have heard a glass break from the window or something. Like he's literally walking and hears shots fired.
Yeah, he heard acorns and he tucked and rolled and he lit into his car. Now let's continue.
I'm good. 22-year-old kid?
Yeah.
His girlfriend's car.
All right, stop it right there for a minute. Okay, so now he's manufactured this whole crazy scene.
I think he's realizing that that is bullshit.
Yeah, but he's calling out to his partner / supervisor.
Superior, yeah.
I'm going to come into this later. So they're going to pick up something from her body cam if it's the same video, right?
Yeah.
Like right now he's saying he's okay. He's starting to process stuff, but he still has no idea that nothing has happened. All right. So let's continue this nonsense.
I don't know. He did not offer any physical resistance when he was handcuffed.
No, of course not, because it's a bullshit call.
He might have hit my vest. Damn, you have to play dead.
She's yelling it back. Now, keep in mind, she knows hubby's in the car or boyfriend's in the car.
Everybody, I hear the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Mr. Hernandez.
Everybody's coming to him for nothing.
He didn't act maliciously, he did it.
I don't know. I felt like it.
It felt like it. Like, I'm curious to know what he felt. Like, what actually did happen, or is that all in his mind, too?
Do they give him like drug tests? They didn't show the other one. I found another one.
Yeah, okay, so...
The other one shows... I think they did it at the same time.
Well, yeah, because her body camera shows...
So we just got new windows on our house
the screaming. She comes out. She's talking to the lady that she's either getting a statement from or interviewing or whatever. She runs out, and this is where,
Oh, they got the video of the suspect.
Deputy who shot an unarmed handcuffed man.
Yeah, Dr. Ritchie was talking about it too.
Video.
All right.
But why they don't show the perspective of the...
Well, we saw it earlier. I saw it. But anyway, she comes out. She's a sergeant. That means, she's been around and supervised scenes before. Now she comes out, and the first thing she does is she starts shooting at the vehicle also.
I think they may have removed... Oh, no, look right here. Here she is. This is the sergeant.
Now, let's see it from her point of view. How quick that she shoots.
Where? Right there?
Yeah. Look. And she's backing up while she's shooting.
We hold our officers.
This is
part. Yeah. Listen to this.
Service. And this particular time we let the public down.
Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Aiden in this video posted to social media speaking on the incident of November 12th, 2023, while on a call with a suspect in the back seat. Then Okaloosa County Deputy Jesse Hernandez reportedly claimed it was this noise that he thought was the detained suspect shooting at him.
Sounds like a car.
It sounds like acorns falling on a car.
Hernandez and Okaloosa County Sheriff's
What if you
Sergeant
would've
Beth
killed that
Roberts,
kid?
who was on the scene, both shot into the patrol car. The detained person in the back seat was reportedly not physically injured. Officials say he was fully searched before he was put into the
Wow,
patrol
they got
car
the
units
video of
after
him
the
searched.
incident,
Nothing.
but he was found to be
Yes.
unarmed. The noise was reported to be an
It,
acorn.
this is
Hernandez resigned
super-
just weeks later.
We have an
super
obligation
ridiculous.
to our staff to try and train them the best we can so that they can go home unharmed to their families. But we have just as
So do suspects too.
important of an obligation to
this
our
is this is
public.
cops
Even
pointing
if they're being
101 right
investigated
here.
for a felony crime, we have that same obligation to protect them.
In a recently released 44-page report of an internal investigation, it states Hernandez used excessive force. But for Roberts, Jesse, how are you?
For her.
The report stated her response was in an effort to save Hernandez's life, and that her response was reasonable. Sheriff Aiden offered his apologies to the man who was in the patrol car.
Apology?
Are so grateful and prayful and thankful that
Grateful
he was
and
not
grateful.
injured.
Okay, stop it right there, because we're going to talk about this.
I didn't see the guy talk.
Well, the sergeant that declared. Okay, the defense. First of all, you saw how fast she shot.
She said, where?
She said, "Where? Here."
Boom, 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 boom.
She shoots at the car too. Now they
Yeah.
both know. And then you saw that guy being searched and handcuffed. That was the guy. They knew he was in the car.
But there was another cop.
They knew he was in the car.
Where was the other cop? You think he left the scene? When they're searching him, there's two cops. And then the sergeant, the lady.
If there were three there, that'd just be just as bad.
Where was he?
But they search the guy, they put him in a car, and she comes out as a supervisor. She goes where, and she instantly lights the car up. Now, she does not know what she's shooting at.
She doesn't.
She didn't, unlike, at least he thought he heard something. Now they're both manufacturing things in her mind.
They thought.
She didn't hear a thing. She didn't see a thing. She started shooting because he was shooting. The only thing she heard was what he manufactured.
After he finished shooting, she was like, where?
They both knew somebody was in that car. And if nobody was in that car, it would be a hilarious cop story.
Yeah, of course.
That this guy.
I wonder if he would have shot.
They couldn't have lived. Oh, probably so.
You think so?
Dude,
Into the car?
Acorns fell in the car and he unloaded his magazine.
No. It says it was excessive force.
Yeah, because
You think they'll charge him formally? You think they'll charge?
it should catch up. There's no way. There's no way if I was the guy
The
in
kid
that
in the
car.
car.
The
He's
only-
in the suit for sure.
The only reason that he's not dead is because A, they were crappy shots, or B, the cage saved
The
him.
cage saved him. He
And-
said he had to play dead.
Yeah, he had to play dead in the back. What else can you do? Can you imagine being in that horrible situation?
Fuck. I don't want to.
It's just some bull crap, and all of a sudden, the cops just start shooting at you. You forget about, there's nobody else in the car, so they're shooting at you because they know you're in the car.
And they just finished searching.
They search you and they put you in there unless they got,
Handcuffs.
yeah, unless you had a fully loaded weapon in the back seat
The
that
cuffs
you
are
were
behind
dating
you.
this guy
Your
and
hands are
saying,
behind your back.
yes, here, take these cuffs in case you want to shoot us up. There was no indication of any guns being on the scene.
So you think that sergeant shouldn't be cleared either? Because
No.
she was aware of.
No, she shot indiscriminately into a car for no reason.
Fuck.
Where in what universe is she cleared? The defense was, I didn't know that he was that stupid.
That's horrible. That's not a defense.
That's not a defense.
It's supposed to know better.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. You should.
You should know better.
It's not even like knowing better, but assessing the situation and what you have. And you know, there's.
So what would you have done if you would have heard the acorn? You would have just checked for the acorn.
I would say, damn, there's sure a lot of acorns in this tree.
You would have dived and then a full flip and emptied out 2 clips.
Even in the best shape I was ever in, I
You
would
never
not have
died.
done that.
You never dived. He did a full dive.
The best I would have done was probably pick some acorns up and throw them while I was waiting for my partner to come back out with a statement or telling us we're going to let the guy go.
Yo,
or
he
something.
literally shoots the car in the back and then falls and shoots it from the
Well,
side.
and at the end of the day, they let the guy go. Was there more to that video? Because
Wow.
they didn't even. There was no charges. You know,
It was just detained.
You know damn well a girlfriend's not going to charge her boyfriend
Not
with
at
stealing a
all.
car.
Not at all.
I don't even know why he was in handcuffs, to be honest.
I guess they wanted to like assess the situation. They
Yeah,
usually do
but
shit.
he obviously was totally compliant, and
You could tell.
there were no guns.
There would have been
involved.
more backup there. If they would have really emptied out all them clips on that. If I can,
Yeah, no guns involved. No guns involved. Not even in play. Not even mentioned. And you're going to unload. Both of you unloaded. I'm sure it'd be in the report how many freaking rounds were fired. It's crazy.
I seen his number.
They could have killed the kid.
Yeah.
And all you get is, I'm sorry. You know it's not going to end
We're
there.
prayerful.
Yeah, we're prayerful that, yeah, of course you are, because you want to get sued. You're getting sued anyway.
How she says where? Right there?
And a half a second later, starts unloading. What
With
is
a
she,
paper in her hand.
what is she shooting at? What is she shooting at?
And you can see the partner on the floor there looking lost. They both shot.
All right, I don't know. My legs went numb for a second. I heard a pop come from. Go this way. Can you move? Yeah.
We hold our
My
officers-
legs went numb for a second.
Yeah, he just, everything that he manufactured in his head.
Yo, that's scary.
Like, literally, nothing happened.
How did they figure out that it was an acorn? I want to know how they figured that one out.
Well, unfortunately, the good thing about body cameras is God knows what that would have been manufactured into if they weren't body cameras. It sounds so stupid that nobody would have believed it.
It does. I would have been like,
I've never heard of such a thing ever.
I didn't know that acorn sounded like gunshots.
They don't. They sound like acorns falling
For
on
those, of you,
cars.
for those of you that are listening out there, make sure when they pull you over, you stop where there's no trees because an acorn can get you killed.
Apparently, an acorn can get you killed. God forbid if you should park under pine cones because they're bigger. So God knows what people are going to think they are falling on your car. It is one of those things where I'm going to go with that shows a total lack of life experience.
So in the training, like when they have training, because I see some type of training went into action. I know that when they train, they do it over and over and over and over, so they could just have it. What is he looking for in the situation for it to go into action?
Well, in my humble opinion, in the training I see today in today's law enforcement, is you train people to be cautious. You don't train people to be scared.
He's scared as fuck.
He was scared. You're not. You can perceive a threat, but you can't make one up.
Yo, he said my legs are numb.
He-
I'm hit.
Because that's all the psychological stuff that happens to you. I mean, you know, everything that goes along. He's probably had tunnel vision. He probably lost his hearing. I'm sure everything in your mind when you rev yourself up into that kind of panic.
Fight or flight.
And you know, everything was manufactured in his head. And it started from nothing. Now, there was no threats around him. It literally was things
It was
falling
an
on his
empty
car.
space. It was like,
And you know, there were no other people around. It looked like one of the quietest neighborhoods you ever want to see.
It was like a nice neighborhood.
And it was just a regular car.
They had the car right in the front.
And you know, the sheriff there clearly embarrassed, but you can't defend that. And I'm sure the sergeant's been around before for a while. But once again, that's not a defense. I didn't
think he was that
I didn't think he was a moron. That's kind of where they're going with that.
Did you hear her talk? She said that? She stayed
No, she didn't say that, but that's, if you're looking at the report and she's being cleared because they're saying that what she heard
She's
and saw,
She's
it was
protecting her
reasonable.
partner. Yeah.
And I totally get that, but once again, you do need to see something.
Of course.
You do need to perceive something, and you can't just
Empty a clip
into a car that you know is occupied when you should know, because you were on scene and you're the supervisor, that somebody was put in that car, searched, and clearly did not have a gun.
So what happens with the kid? The kid like files a lawsuit probably?
I would assume that
Complain?
apparently he said his prayers and got lucky for not getting struck by any rounds.
That's traumatizing.
Totally helpless feeling. Couldn't even imagine that. I don't want to hear, well, he shouldn't have committed a crime and all this.
He didn't commit any crime.
Yeah, I know this, but that's what stupid people will say. You don't have to do much to end up in the back of a patrol car.
You don't.
It doesn't mean you deserve to get shot at.
Especially if you're the right color, the right description. Mm-hmm.
You fit the description, man.
What is it? I've heard it before. For your safety and my safety.
For your safety and my safety. We're gonna cuff you, and then we're gonna put you in a vulnerable spot, and then we're gonna shoot at you. Because you're somehow, even though we did all that,
So
you're
you
still
think
a threat.
So you think he was told that you were gonna resign? You think, or he was like, I'm just gonna resign?
Oh, it was obvious he was gonna get fired. That's just he just
So he
resigned.
decided. Oh, so
There's
okay.
like a procedure to get fired most of the time. I mean, even before
They got unions.
even before he comes out and goes, "Hey, you're fired. Guess what? I'm going to resign." That doesn't mean you're off the hook by any means.
No, not at all.
But that, I mean, if there's not a lawsuit to follow.
No, there is a lawsuit for sure. That's just national news.
I watched a little bit. It popped on my phone at first, and I watched with that clip with Dr. Richie.
Oh, you watched the one? Was that MSNBC? That guy?
Yeah, I don't know whatever he's on, but I call out the YouTube video. He's got like his show. Like I get his reports and everything. He's from. There should be like a show that actually have like real cops
Since
on
a
it.
delusional cop opens fire
He was
on a
delusional.
squirrel.
That was delusional. Even if there was a squirrel involved, I'd be like, okay, squirrels can be dangerous.
But this body cam video wasn't released. That happened in November.
Yeah.
This was released recently.
They had to once again. If there's not a lawyer jumping all over this.
There's been a lawyer. That's why it's released. This is the case against him.
Yeah.
Remember, they used the media. We're gonna put it on media. So when they pull in that cop,
That agency's gonna.
they're gonna end up settling with that guy.
Oh yeah, and you know, once again, grace of God, he's still alive.
Okaloosa County.
Yeah. Well, Lucy, you got some
You
explaining
have a
to do.
700+ credit score?
Yo, it's just there's nothing right about this shit. And I hope that kid gets better.
No, yeah, he's mentally scarred.
Hell yeah. And you boom, 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 and they shoot him from both sides. I wonder how they got him out the vehicle. He must have been like, no.
Dude, I don't know. Yeah.
They don't got that body cam footage of him panic, probably shit.
Yeah.
his pants,
Oh, I'm
beating
sure.
himself.
Can you? Yeah. The car's getting bombarded. I'm sure
Yeah,
glass is
probably
breaking
beat
all around him.
himself, shit himself.
He has no idea what's going on. And once again, like even when that's explained and the whole "I'm so sorry" speech, it's like, can you imagine the freaking terror that kid was in?
Imagine they would have killed him.
But you would get the same speech. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, no, dude. Once again, listeners, you train the guy. You train the guy. He's operating under your name,
He has to.
under your training, and this is what you're getting.
That is, being a police officer is a tough job, but I think like you gotta really pick and choose who you pick to be a police officer. Like they just shot first. They didn't ask questions.
Yeah, and and I get being around for so long. I'll give. I don't know how long that sergeant was around, but I will give you that. That is not the norm.
That's not the norm.
These are the people that you are hiring these days. Nothing is the bad part of being around so long is that things change around you. Things that used to not be normal. I remember. Disclaimer, folks. I will tell you that. Oh, we're gonna go back to the 90s. I was searching a house. It was a burglary, and I was searching a house, making sure nobody was in there.
That's just scary as fuck.
Whatever the thing is, I'm a little flash. So I'm doing everything right. And dude, I'm here to tell you that I was in the bedroom, and a freaking cat jumped off of the dresser.
You unloaded your clip?
And pulled off a lamp that looked like a torso. It was like a bus kind of lamp that he pulled with him.
Did you empty your clip?
I had my gun out. I could totally see shooting up that house, but I didn't. But was I scared shitless?
Hell yeah.
Of course.
That's fucking scary as fuck.
Yeah, but you gotta, you have
More
to
training.
assess it.
Yeah.
You can't just, if you shot every time that you were afraid,
You'd be
you'd be
people.
killing people left and right.
all
It's
the
like,
time,
dude, because the job is being
yeah.
cautious.
Is being cautious.
And yeah, sometimes you're just afraid.
Yeah.
And you gotta be afraid and do the shit anyway.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's like,
A mistake cost somebody their life.
yeah, when I hear, I'm all about officer safety, but I'm also about you actually assessing something before you take
Decide to
action.
empty a clip.
And sometimes you don't. I mean, I think I saw there was a shooting. I think that happened where I used to work at. Like it was happening instantaneously. Guy comes out with a knife. He's charging. Boom, boom, boom. It's over. My opinion, the guy did a great job.
And the guy's charging you with a knife. I get it.
Because it's just one of those things. Like you can be subjective. Like how close are you gonna let somebody get to you before they
No.
stab you? Like it's not even like you get to learn. I think I will leave this story. I think when I first started, I remember the first time that I almost got stabbed because I'm thinking that, oh